Hey everyone, welcome to the final episode of Scrap Bin Saturday. So this is actually week 6, March 31st. And this is also the finale for me for one paper pad. Sort of the finale. The paper pad was the Susan Wingate. I'm sure you all have heard and seen in the past videos all month long. This paper, which this is the cover. I did not use the cover yet. It's K & Company, and it's a Susan Wingate designer paper pad. Okay, so I had a bunch of scraps left, and I'm so happy to say that besides the cover, this is now what I have. And I will be trying to finish this up in the next week or so, but it's not going to happen today. So let me show you what I've done or started to do. I'll show you what I've done first. I made 10 little note cards. I kind of feel like everything is in a half finished state, guys, so I apologize. But these were just little Ms. Sparkle and Company mini cards and envelopes, white. They were 3" by 3", which at Joann's they were $1.99, and I've had them for a while, and there were 12 in here, but I only had 10 left. So, and I had sort of big pieces of paper. Oh, well, let me step back actually. So with the sort of big pieces of paper, the biggest pieces of paper, I made the starts of 2 mini loaded bags. So this is going to be a tag or 2. I haven't decided yet. This is the other side. Because that was a pretty big piece of paper. And then this paper is the one I really didn't want to cut this. And then I had this paper also, which it actually sort of lined up right with that one. And I have a pocket there as well as over here. And this were my boo-booed wands that I flattened out and glued on. And it actually gives it a kind of a cool texture. So, and then this will be also a tag or 2. And originally I was trying to get them ready for my granddaughters for Easter, but I'm now seeing them in about an hour and a half, so that's not going to happen. So plan B, because I don't have time to decorate it. Okay, so then my next biggest pieces, I had these, and I owe somebody a 4x6 index card. So this is the beginnings of it. And I owe somebody a 3x5 index card. So this is the beginnings of it. And this was another piece that I just thought went well on here, because this has like a little postage stamp here and things. So I just put that on there as well. And then I believe the next thing I went and did, it was sort of a, okay, what do I do? So I made these 10 little note cards, and I went through my scraps and said, okay, I need to find pieces that are big enough to do 3x3 or 2 7/8 really by 2 7/8. So this is the first one. I don't know if these are the order I did them. And really, I did not put any sentiments or anything on these at this time, because I find that sometimes I want to grab a little note and just write a little something, and I can just stick a little thank you or hi on at that time, depending on the nature of it. So I thought these made really cute little note cards. Oop. And they're not blinged up or anything. Plus, they have to be able to fit in these little envelopes. Otherwise, I have to make little envelopes, and I'm out of that paper. This is 2 pieces of paper. One here, and then this little piece I just loved, and since this was blue, I just put it on. I thought it made it pop. So that's a little bit decorated. Here's another one of the yellow flower. And another one of the butterflies. And I made sure they were all in the right direction this time. See, I have a piece of glue there. This one. And this one was that postcard kind of thing, but it has a fussy cut butterfly, which was sort of on a piece of paper by itself. But I did not make it raise because, again, they have to fold flat. This is actually 3 pieces of paper. This first, and then it didn't quite go over, so I had this other 1 strip of these pretty pink flowers, so I put that over it and just cut a little off the edge, and then 1 strip of blue, I think, just to make it pop. And then the last one, it was the right size paper, except that one corner had a little notch in it, so I just rounded the other corners, and that's how it came out. I thought it came out all right. So that's my 10 little note cards, which will be, you know, decorated a little bit. And then I thought I have to make some ATCs, and this piece of paper I found first was almost exactly the right size, just a little bit short. And so I had this pack of, well, where's the cover? They actually come in a pack called Artist Trading Cards, like that, from Paper Studio. But I don't ever like sending them out, like, just not like that, because that's not any artwork. So I took the ones I like the least, though. They're sort of kind of plain ones, or wood, whatever, and they're white on the back. And I glued down papers that were just shy of that amount. And then I went around the edges with, anyway, I don't know where I put them right this second, but they're the Sharpie Gold fine points. And I just put gold around the edges all the way around. And that's as far as I've gone so far. I have not done anything else with it. Let's see. This one has the gold. Oh, no, wait. I thought I did 2 in gold. Okay, this one I did gold, but I only did the edges. And this one had like wording on it. And the background was like a dark wood, brown wood kind of green thing. So I thought that came out okay. And then these 2 were butterfly sheets. This one I found sort of a blue wood grain background. I did not do gold on that yet. I don't know if I will. I might do something different. And this one had sort of a wood grain with some other pattern in it. Anyway, I thought those went well with the butterfly. So those are 4 ATCs out of 10 that I need to do. 9 for a swap and 1 for a personal swap. And then I had this itty bitty little square, and I just threw it together as an inchy. Actually 2 little itty bitty squares. So I don't even know if it's actually an inchy and a quarter. An inchy, and it's a little bigger than an inchy, but it'll be an embellishment. And I was just thinking of putting, but I haven't decided yet, either this butterfly or this flower, or maybe this flower and this butterfly. I think I just did my embellishment, and then maybe a little bling. Anyway, and then I have to show you something else, but it's drying and it's kind of a fail, but I'll fix it up to make it work. But I have these, what are these called? I've had these for a year. I didn't get to them last year. They're by Paper Studio. They're paper mache eggs. And they came in a pack of 5, I think. Yes. That's good because I only did 3. So one of them, I'm not going to show. This was one. I just had all these long strips of paper. And it's drying and it has gaps. But I think once I, you know, pretty it up a little bit, maybe put some glitter and stickers and flatten some areas down a little more later, it'll be alright. So that was an experiment, which is in progress. And then the last thing, this is really the last thing, is I had these really awkward pieces. They weren't nice strips like this. They were, you know, where I had die cut things out and they were all ragged and whatnot. So I have already gifted all the other ones that I had done previously that I showed you in a little box, and these I didn't get into the box, but I have punches for anchors, but I have to say I don't remember what brand it is, but this little anchor does not cut well. Both times I had to cut part of the little piece out, so I stopped doing them. because it was just taking me too long. I have some little kitty cats. I have a couple banners that were a Stampin' Up! Punch, but it's a double punch, and I didn't have enough wide pieces left after I did these other things to do more than 2 sets of those. Then this bag is a combination of fussy cut butterflies, scallop circles that contain a good picture of a butterfly. So like this, I fussy cut, but not all the way, maybe. This one is fussy cut all the way. This one is almost all the way. But they're ones where the butterfly was still whole, not cut in two because of using the other side of the paper. So I saved them, and then these I was able to get within a scallop punch, so I can just leave them, you know, in the scallop like that. So there's a couple of those and a couple even smaller ones. So they're all my butterfly embellishments, I'll call them. Or blue, because the backs are blue. And then this is, oops, I just stuck my finger in that, didn't I? Yes, I did. The other egg, by the way, is has gessoed, and it's drying. Okay. Then this is the flower bag. I had 2 little punches, which I cannot get open. Anyway, they're like the little daisy ones and then these bigger ones. And I just threw them all in the same bag. So that, and they're all different cuts of paper. And I have some 1.5-inch scallop circles, which I love to use. I didn't get too many of them out of scraps. The pieces weren't big enough. These are tiny little pendants that it came in a 2-pack of the pendant plus the pointy pendant, but I don't like that one as well, so I used that one. These are tiny little bows, and these are all punches. These are little tiny scallop circles, and these are 1-inch scallop circles. So I have all these embellishments, and actually you say, well, that's not really using them. However, I am in a, it's sort of called a challenge, but David V's running this thing where every Sunday he emails us that are in that signed up with 2 names and addresses to send just a standard envelope. I don't have any of those right. Oh, yes, I do. Here, hang on. You know, like this size. Nothing too expensive, just one stamp, unless you choose to do more, but of goodies. And I have been sending out some of my punch outs because some people don't have those or die cuts. And so I do a mixture and send that along with maybe some other stuff. Anyway, so it is actually something. And so the only thing is these, and I may use some of these littler ones on the insides of these cards. I may use some of them to further embellish these bags and ATCs. But I also have to do my scrap cards still. I don't really know that I have enough to do more than 1 or 2 cards here. You know, the scraps where you place them next to each other. And I just ran out of time, guys, or I would have really tried to finish them. I may still try and do it later today, but I have to run out today for a while. Oh, here's my Sharpie pen. Thought I had it close by. It came in this pack. I had this one for a while. I just got the medium tip, but this is the fine tip. Sharpie metallic. And yeah, it worked out really good. So I have gold and silver. And I think that's all. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry it's not something more elaborate, but this has been a really, really busy week for me, really busy month for me actually, so I'm kind of surprised I got this much done, and I'm pretty happy with having the 10 little note cards. And how this came about, actually, just a little story. I always have a story. I actually sold a piece of jewelry, a sterling silver piece, on Etsy earlier this week, and I didn't have any little thank you cards made up that go with my business theme, which is Dahlia Designs. And I do have some paper that's dahlia, so I ended up making one of these with a dahlia on it, and doing the envelope and actually covering a white box lid with it and making it all coordinate. I don't know that I'm real happy with how it turned out, so I'm forward thinking. These are nice to send to my crafty pals and whatnot as thank yous, or just here's my entry or whatever. But also I need to make some of my own that go, I need to have a consistent style, theme, branding, that's the word I'm looking for. And so I'm going to be thinking hard on that, and then I want to make a bunch of those, as well as decorate boxes or whatever to go with my business brand, and get back on that wagon starting in April. Now, I might be just making jewelry in April and that'll come later. I don't know. But that is where that mindset came from, to make little cards. And I just happen to have enough little pieces that were actually big enough and the right shape, because some of them, these tall skinny ones, they're not wide enough unless you piece them. But it worked out okay. I only needed a piece, was it 1 or 2, to make them fit the 3x3 cards. So I was happy about that. Alright guys, that's enough rambling. I hope you enjoyed my little cards and my ATC starts and my IC starts, which are very minimal at this point. But that's okay, because, you know, people need to be surprised. And my 2 loaded bag starts. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace. Have a wonderful Saturday and a happy Easter. Or happy Sunday, whichever, you know, both, if you're so inclined. And I'm off to go throw some little Easter things together for my grandgirls and meet them for an early lunch. I have to get moving. Alright, talk to you later. Bye-bye.